Today, we are diving into a key factor for muscle building, and that is workout volume. Now, understanding volume is crucial for women who want to build lean muscle because it directly influences the results you get from your actual workout. Now, the volume refers to the total amount of work you're doing in the gym, and this is usually calculated by multiplying the number of sets, reps, and the amount of weight lifted. If you are putting hours in the gym, but you're not seeing the progress that you want to see, it's likely that your volume isn't actually optimized for muscle growth. Now, in this episode, I'm going to break down exactly what volume is and why it plays such an important role in building lean muscle. We'll talk about how hitting the right volume is key to creating the stimulus in your muscles to get stronger. And I'll also guide you through what your weekly quote volume goal should look like so you can start maximizing your results without spending hours in the gym and never seeing any progress. Whether you're lifting too little or too much, getting your volume right is a game changer and can help you finally see the progress that you've been working towards. So let's dive into the 5 most important questions we need to answer about volume in order to set yourself up for success in your workouts. Now, first of all, what is volume and why does it actually matter? In simple terms, volume is the total amount of work you do for a particular muscle group during a workout. Now, it's calculated by multiplying the number of sets and reps you complete. So, for example, if you do 3 sets of 10 squats, your volume for those squats is 30 reps in a session. Now, why does this actually matter? Volume directly impacts muscle hypertrophy, which is the process of muscle growth. The more volume you perform within a reasonable limit, the more stimulus your muscles receive, signaling them to grow and repair. Think of it like giving your muscles like work to do. The more effective the work is, the more they need to adapt and grow to handle it next time. Now, volume along with intensity, which is how heavy you're lifting, and frequency, which is how often you're training each muscle, is one of the primary factors for building muscle. However, there is a very sweet spot. Doing too little volume might not provide enough stimulus for growth, but doing too much can lead to overtraining, slowing down your progress, maybe even hitting those plateaus. But the key to finding the right balance of volume, intensity, and frequency is to continuously challenge your muscles and see results. Now, when you get your workout volume right, you'll start to notice significant changes in muscle tone, strength, and just overall performance in general. So, what is the difference between volume, intensity, and frequency? Now, intensity refers to the amount of weight you're lifting relative to your 1 rep max. And this is usually expressed as a percentage of your 1 rep max, the maximum weight you can lift for 1 repetition. Now, for example, if your 1 rep max for a squat is 100 pounds, lifting 70%, which would equal about 70% intensity. This is also very similar to the RPE or rate of perceived exertion. So if you don't actually have a 1 rep max, you can use that RPE scale as well. Now, the purpose for this is higher intensity, which is heavier weights. It's necessary for building strength and activating more muscle fibers. Now, frequency is how often you train a specific muscle group or perform a particular workout each week. So, for example, if you're training legs 3 times a week, that means your leg training frequency is 3. The purpose is that your frequency affects how often your muscles receive the stimulus needed for growth. More frequent sessions allow for more opportunity to stimulate muscle as long as you're adequately recovering. Think of volume, intensity, and frequency as all a balancing act. Now, volume is the overall workload, intensity determines how challenging each set is, and then the frequency dictates how often you're hitting that muscle group. So, what is the ideal volume for muscle gain? Now, to build muscle effectively, understanding the right amount of workout volume is crucial. 2 key concepts that can help guide your progress are minimum effective volume, or MEV, and maximum recoverable volume, MRV. Minimum effective volume refers to the smallest amount of work, think sets and reps, that you need in order to see progress. It's like the starting point. So if you do fewer sets than your MEV, you likely won't see as much improvement in your muscle growth. But then there's maximum recoverable volume. It's the most volume that your body can handle without tipping into overtraining. Now, once you surpass this level, your body won't have enough time to recover between your workouts, which can hinder progress and can even lead to injuries later on. So, what is that sweet spot? Now, here is the general rule of thumb. For beginners, you want to aim for 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week. Now, this is enough to stimulate muscle growth without overwhelming your body. And for intermediate or advanced lifters, increase to 15 to 20 sets per muscle group per week to continue challenging your muscles and fostering growth. Now, as you get stronger and fitter, it is essential to adjust your volume using progressive overload. This principle involves gradually increasing the demands on your muscles to keep them growing. Now, for example, if you get more comfortable lifting a certain weight for a certain number of sets and reps, you can either increase the number of sets or reps, increase the weights, or shorten your rest periods to add more in less amount of time. It's important to find a balance, especially as your fitness level progresses. While it may seem tempting to do more and more, staying within your MRV ensures that you're not overtraining and you're progressively increasing your volume over time, and it ensures that you're always challenging your muscles enough to keep them growing. Repeating this advice is key because it's really easy to overlook. Finding your ideal volume and continuously adjusting it is one of the biggest factors in muscle growth. Now, the more you understand how to manipulate volume, the better your results will be. Inside my brand new fitness app, Broads, we take out all the guesswork for you. With our customizable frequency of 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times a week, we make sure you have the right volume for your goals. We focus on 4-week blocks to maximize efficiency and results of your workouts. Make sure you jump on the wait list with the link in the show notes. We are live on November 11th. So why won't high reps and low weights give you the results that you want? You'll see this a lot in HIIT training. This is the concept of junk volume. One of the biggest mistakes people make in their workouts is falling into this trap of junk volume. This is what happens when you do a lot of sets or reps with weights that are too light to actually even challenge your muscles. While it may feel like in the moment you're putting in a lot of work, this kind of volume doesn't provide the stimulus necessary for significant muscle growth. And instead, it can lead to increased fatigue without the benefits of hypertrophy, which remember is that muscle growth we're looking for. Now, the misconception is light weights and high reps for quote unquote toning. You guys know I love that word. Not. A common myth is that lifting light weights for high reps will, quote, tone your muscles, while heavier weights are only for, quote, bulking up. But in reality, muscle tone comes from building lean muscle mass and reducing body fat, not from endless reps with low resistance. While high rep lightweight exercises can improve muscular endurance, they won't create the muscle definition that most people are looking for. Now, muscle hypertrophy requires enough resistance to create micro tears in your muscle fibers, which then they repair and grow stronger. If the weights are too light, you're not creating enough of a challenge to signal your muscles to grow. And this is why junk volume is ineffective. It can feel like you're working hard, but it's not enough to create real, lasting change in your muscle composition. This is why inside Broads, we do not focus on lightweight, high rep style workouts that fall into the trap of junk volume. Instead, we emphasize smart, targeted volume that's designed to progressively increase your strength and muscle mass. So how do we structure our workouts for optimal volume? Now, structuring your workouts to achieve the right volume is key for muscle growth and just overall progress. The idea is that you're spreading your volume throughout the week in a way that allows you to challenge your muscles effectively while giving them enough time to recover. So here's how I want you to think about it. Let's just say that your goal is to hit 15 to 20 sets per muscle group per week. And instead of cramming all those sets into 1 or 2 sessions, it's better to spread them out over multiple days. So this is for the intermediate to advanced lifter. So for example, if you're training your legs, instead of doing all 15 sets in one workout, which can be super exhausting and way less effective, you might do 5 to 8 sets one day, like a squat, lunge, or step up, and then another 5 to 8 sets on another day, like deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, or hamstring curls. This is why I'm such a firm believer of full body workouts when you are doing 2 or 3 days a week. This approach allows you to train at a higher intensity each session without burning out, and it gives your muscles the right stimulus while ensuring you recover properly in between sessions. It's also really important to balance your volume across different muscle groups. So for example, if you're training legs twice a week, you should also ensure that your upper body muscles, like your chest and your back and your shoulders, get an appropriate number of sets throughout the week as well. This will create a well-rounded approach, avoiding any muscle imbalances and overworking any one specific area. As your strength improves, you'll want to gradually increase your volume. This could mean adding in more sets per muscle group, increasing the weight, or even doing more reps per set. It's just important not to jump into high volume training too quickly. Just start where you are and gradually build up to that higher volume as your body starts to adapt. And honestly, do not stress. Broads has you covered. I know this all can sound confusing, and figuring out how to balance your sets and reps over the week might feel overwhelming. But do not worry, I've already thought of all of this for you. When you get access into my brand new workout app, Broads, all the calculations are done for you. And you can simply follow along with the workout plan, knowing that your volume is optimized for your goals without having to worry about any of the details. You just have to show up, put in the work, and we'll take care of the rest to ensure you're on track to build lean muscle and get stronger. Make sure you click on the waitlist in the show notes to be the first to know. Let's talk about the common mistakes that people make when it comes to volume. Mistake number one, jumping straight into high volume without building a foundation. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see is that people are trying to dive into a high volume workout regimen without establishing a solid foundation first. It's tempting to want to see quick results, but suddenly increasing your volume may lead to burnout or injury fast. Your muscles, joints, and connective tissues need time to adapt to new stresses. And gradually increasing your volume allows your body to adjust and build the necessary strength and endurance to handle higher workloads just more safely. Mistake number two, gosh, I see this so often, is not accounting for recovery. Another critical mistake. If you are constantly pushing your limits without giving your body the time it needs to recover, you are risking overtraining, injuries, muscle fatigue. I cannot say this enough. Recovery is where the actual growth happens. Your muscles repair and strengthen during that time. Make sure to include rest days, lighter training sessions, listening to your body. And if you're feeling excessively fatigued, it may be a sign that you need to adjust your volume or just take a break. This is a huge reason why I have 2, 3, and 4 times frequency in broads. That is more than enough. Mistake number three is obsessing over your volume without considering intensity. A lot of people become super fixated on hitting a certain volume that they forget about the importance of intensity. Now, it's essential to strike a balance between that volume and intensity, and focusing too much on the quantity can lead to suboptimal workouts where the quality of each rep is sacrificed. So you should aim for a combination of both, ensuring that you're lifting heavy enough to challenge your muscles while also meeting your weekly volume goals. Mistake number 4 is neglecting nutrition and sleep. And lastly, the most overlooked factors is nutrition and sleep. Both are crucial for recovery and performance. If you're training at this high volume, your body needs proper fuel to handle the increased workload and recover effectively. And additionally, we did a whole episode all on the quality of sleep, but it is essential for muscle recovery and hormonal balance. Without paying attention to these areas, you may struggle to manage higher volume workouts effectively. Now, if you follow carefully structured workouts in the Broads app, you'll avoid these common mistakes. Each workout has been designed to ensure that you're not only getting enough volume, but it's also the right volume for your current fitness level. The program accounts for recovery and gradually increases intensity, making it nearly impossible for you to get too little or too much volume. With the Broads app, you can confidently focus on your training, knowing that programming is tailored to deliver optimal results while helping you build a solid foundation, prioritize recovery, and support your nutrition and sleep needs. Just follow along and let us guide you on your journey building lean muscle and strength. Remember, the link is in the show notes. Jump on the wait list. So, as a recap, what is volume? Volume is the total amount of work done in a workout, typically calculated as the sum of sets multiplied by reps for a specific muscle group. Why does it matter? It matters because higher workout volume, when balanced with intensity and recovery, provides stimulus necessary for muscle growth and development. What is the ideal volume you want? The ideal volume ranges from 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week for beginners and 15 to 20 sets for intermediate and advanced lifters. Why is this volume better than low volume, high rep workouts, aka junk volume? This volume is better because it ensures adequate muscle stimulus for hypertrophy, which is muscle gain, whereas low volume, high rep workouts often lead to minimal growth and increased fatigue without delivering the desired benefits you want. And again, make sure you sign up for the waitlist for Broads if you're ready to start following a carefully programmed workout that was designed for optimal muscle growth for women. If you're going to take the time, go to the gym and work out, you might as well do it the right way instead of wasting your time. Broads is going to make that easy to do. Now, embrace your strength, take up space, grab a spot on the waitlist with the link in bio. And as always, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you liked it, please share it, send it to a friend, and make sure to write a review on Apple Podcasts.